he has a servant, because in India the situation is different. If he gives up his servant, he'll have no food to eat. It's not that everybody use brain. You see, this is one thing in this country people do not realize. If you work much harder than his servant, do you know that? Because your brain never stops. His servant works with his hand, he doesn't think. His energy goes to his hands, he rests also. You see, here the idea is if somebody is working with the hand, it's cruelty. But what about this brain? The amount of brain you use all the time. Now tell me, you cannot stop your thinking. Alright? Now see, my servant, though he works hard, he is much more relaxed than my husband is. My husband doesn't do even lifting a glass. Alright? And what happens? That one can say that this man is a lazy fellow, he is enjoying everything in life, he is enjoying all the comfort, while the servant is not. But my servant is, in a way, is doing his handwork because that's all he can do. His brain is not that developed. And he has much more rest than my husband has. He is much more relaxed. Somebody is the hand, somebody is the feet, and somebody is the head. But if you do work with your head, it's the same. Now, if you are doing work with your head, you have to have certain amount of comfort to your body. Otherwise, even if you have to suffer on your body, of course, I do not say that servants should be ill-treated by any chance. That should not be done. But, and nobody gives your money to anybody else like that. You see, he's paid for it and he does the work with his hands so you can see it. But what about the brain part? Do you see the brain, how it works? I wish you could have a microscope to see how the brain works. And all the chakras going on. One thought itself is a dynamite. And you cannot stop it. Ask him. Yesterday his thought going on like a machine. There's a machine you are working out. So this happens. And then one should understand that when you go to any country, you are a guest there, he was very unhappy and he wrote a very sad letter to me. And that was not good. You didn't want him to be unhappy. You
I didn't have an argument.
Dhumal.
I didn't have an argument.
Huh?
I didn't have an argument.
You didn't have what?
I told him what I felt.
Huh?
I told him what I felt. I've just been over quite a lot of places in India. And
what did you feel?
well, I felt that if somebody's telling me how many houses they've got and how many houses they're buying, when their servant doesn't have a roof over his head, when the roof leaks.
Now, supposing here people have so many houses which are lying empty here in England. Do they give their houses to you people? Do they? Is there any way? How many people you should give also? Is there any system by which you should give? See, that is not Dhumal's problem. It's the problem of the government. Dhumal has houses. He has given a huge big fort to us as a present to Sahajog. If he gives a house free to his servant, I think he will make him a parasite out of it. Do you know in India, beggars have got big buildings? Do you know that fact? Some of the buildings on Marine Drive are owned by people who are professionally beggars. So if you see some problem, it has so many deeper roots which you do not see. But you just write a letter of apology to him. I was hurt very much because he has done such a tremendous job. He is going to give a huge big place to us for Sahajog. Nobody has been able to do that so far. He has given me 10,000 people as Sahajogis. And when you people say, I felt, what is this I? What is this I? I know you have a very sympathetic heart, but sometimes you are swayed by it. Sympathetic heart to a point is good. It should be prudent heart. It should not be unwise. You must know the sense of proportion. I mean, that's a system in India which is working. But you cannot do without servants. Here also, what is happening to you? Without servants, you are all intelligent people. Why you live in a mess, in pigsties? Because you are using your brains, you don't know how to use your hands. All these communistic ideas are of no use. People have to do some sort of a job, this job or that job. There's nothing wrong. Some people who can do brain job have to do brain job. Those who have to do handwork has to do handwork. Of course, there should not be much disparity in their living, I agree. But that's not his problem, it's the problem of the whole country. But I tell you, even to servants I've seen, you give them something. There was a lady nurse, you see. Once I was rather sick, so she used to come and see me and help me a little bit. So I thought just as a favor I must do something to her. So I sent her by our ship to see. I said, let her have a holiday, she'll be all right. So I sent her to Africa. I mean, the problems are much deeper than you understand. I sent her to Africa, you know. She came back and she started telling the doctor off. She thought she has become the doctor. And the doctor told me, why did you do it? They get into imbalances. You see, even to poor persons, if you give them something like that, they go into imbalances. I'll give you another very concrete example. My husband is very socialistic in his approach, and it's a good thing. So what he did was to increase the pay of the drivers. You see, the drivers started getting 1,000 rupees, which was a very big amount. And the lowest clerk gets about, say, 1,200. So there was a very little disparity. Now the drivers getting 1,000 rupees was too much. Within 6 months, their wives came to me. They said this was a very wrong thing he did to our husbands. They have got keeps now. They have started drinking. They have started not giving any money to us. So to poor people, if you give them more money, they do not know how to use it. They will be drinking. Poor people drink much more than the rich people. So they have to be trained how to use money. You just give them money is no use. You do not understand the deeper thing. People are to be brought up properly. Like we have got in India scheduled caste. I agree, scheduled caste is a nonsense. It should not be there. You should not treat somebody as a lower class. It's all right. But what they have brought into now, suddenly, that scheduled caste must have equal seats, equal rights in every job and everything, whether they are qualified or not. So you have got people who are not qualified, or even in exams, in the colleges, you must have so many scheduled castes. Now what has happened by doing this kind of a top-heavy work, some muck has come up. And there are some absolutely useless people, they cannot do administration. Instead of that, what Gandhiji had said, that train them up, educate them, bring them up. Suddenly the educated people are there, and some people suddenly uneducated, nothing brought to that, they cannot bear it. Now we had a servant with us who came to me, who was, you must be knowing him, Param Shivam, who came down here. And he was getting hardly 100 rupees there. We gave him a big pay and everything. When he came here, he started misbehaving. Then his mother, when I wrote to them that he's misbehaving, I don't know what to do. He has developed all bad habits. He was buying pornography pictures here, going to the pub, then having girlfriends and doing all sorts of things. He started here. So when I wrote to his mother, what his mother wrote to me is very interesting to know. She said, those people who live in mud, if they have to sleep on mud, if they have to sleep on a bed, it hurts them. So suddenly giving them something materially is not going to improve it. You have to train them up. You do not know what problems there are of poverty. Poverty is just like leprosy. Leprosy, you know what the leprosy parasites eat? They eat petrol. They thrive on petrol. So gross it is. And then, you being an Englishman should not have said it, because English are responsible for the poverty of India. You like it or not. They have created this problem for us. We didn't have this problem before. Our servants were part and parcel of our house. They treated us just like slaves, so we have got this idea from them. How they treated us? I must say, Dhumal was very decent not to say this to you. But this is what it is. The way they treated us in India, you have no idea. Even till yesterday we had white clubs where Indians were not allowed on our own soil when we were independent, and they are fighting for it. They killed thousands of people, raped so many women there. We English should not say that in that country where we have ruled and made them slaves. You see, they did not allow us to come up. What are you doing to foreigners here who are coming up? How you treat them? What racialism you have here compared to what we have in India? We have no racialism. They treated you with such great respect. They should have said, you are white, so racialism, all right, we will treat you. But if you go to Africa, they will teach you. Africans, West Indies, they are on top of you. What I am saying, to break the vicious circle, try to understand the problem of every country. From where does this problem come? To India and to most of the countries who are underdeveloped. The French, they dominated also many countries. This is also, one should understand, that we should not dominate anymore. We should wash their feet. That's what it is. Now you have killed the culture of all the Africans. And Africans have taken to all French and English culture. Absolutely, they have prostitutes the same way you have. They have the women the same way you have. Their ideas of liberation the same. Only the Indians have resisted you. Otherwise, everywhere you have never respected anybody's culture or anything. You have to face it. If you go to South America, you'll be shocked the way people have wiped out all the people who lived there. All of them, one and all, except for Colombia. Can you imagine? Every country, every soul has been wiped out. Just see that. Of course, if he was ill-treating him, I can understand. But he doesn't ill-treat. These ideas are Western ideas. They are applicable to you people, not to Indians. And this is the big mistake people are doing, is to put your ideas onto us. For example, in field reforms, you see, my son-in-law is a very enlightened fellow. He had 25 miles, square miles of area of his own. But he used to get his labor from all these areas. He used to provide them everything. He used to pay them very well. They were living very well. Suddenly the idea came, no, they must have their own land holdings. All right. Without understanding that they are to be trained, they are to be brought up, they are not educated, there must be communication. So everybody was given one patch here and a one patch there and a one patch there and a one patch there. What happened? That they started getting strangulated in those areas. There was no way of communication to them. They could not get their wheat, they could not get their seeds, they could not do anything. They started starving. And they came to my son-in-law that you come forward. You are the one who was the agency in between and you should have done it. But they removed the agency and without training these people. Gandhiji suggested these things. He said that you must enlighten the rich people and you must also try to emancipate these people by education, by making them understanding and all that. There is a huge areas in India which are called as backward areas, where these aboriginals live. They do not believe in any sedentary habits. They are like what you call the gypsies. So what they do, these people plow their fields and all that, and they come in the night and plunder it. And they live like that. And they have been living like this and they feel very happy about it. The second is this, the so-called poor of India. You must see how leprosy grows also. They started in Maharashtra a scheme by which they said, we will provide you jobs and otherwise we will give you a dole. Now this is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. That we have realized very soon. I hope they have withdrawn it. So what they did, Indians as it is, they are very cunning and clever. So what they did, they would go and write their names as the people who are doles, getting doles, you see. And they would work somewhere and get the dole as well, double money. Then they would go and drink.